What up, Chipper Chaps? This is Chipper Chap Chat episode 121 now?
121 now.
121 now.
121 now.
I am FooRay.
And I am Chamba.
We're going to talk about some nerdy stuff, do some backflips, and probably smack a rooster off a roof, because what is it even doing up there? We don't
All
live on a
off
farm.
screen, though.
Yeah, we're not going to show it.
All off screen. We can't show it. It's
PETA
better as a
approved.
mystery. It's better as a mystery.
So we got some stuff to talk about, a little bit
Yeah.
different this time,
Yeah.
because we only got one trailer on the docket.
One trailer.
We're going to talk about that last.
Yes, that's last.
Okay,
Do you want to
so-
go for that last, or do you want to go for that first?
We can put it at the end.
Let's put it at the end. Sure.
Let's get this action figure stuff
Sure.
in there first, because WonFest happened. If you don't,
Yes.
if you're not familiar with WonFest, it's essentially like a Japanese Comic-Con just for action figures, right?
Just for like statues, toys,
Toys.
merchandise regarding anime and other properties as such. It goes for like I think Winter WonderFest goes for a weekend, but I think the summer one only went for a day.
But they do 2 a year.
They do 2 a year. Yeah, it's 2 a
Okay.
year. So it's the summer and then the winter, and it's always different things. Sometimes they'll show the concepts in one and then the actual prototypes, or even colored versions in the next one. So we got a couple of color reveals. We also just got a couple of random
Let's go
announcements.
through the prototype ones first. The ones
Sure.
we don't have like actual images of.
Okay, sure. The one that I'm actually most looking forward to is is essentially just an image of like
That's
the. It's the Figma. So,
Okay.
Good Smile Figma. They did like 2 figures of Kill Kill, the anime a couple of years ago, and I've always wanted one of the character Mako, and they announced that they're gonna do one finally.
But I mean, she's just a schoolgirl with a bowl
Well,
cut, right?
I'm assuming because it's because Good Smile does this all the time, where they'll have like their online store exclusive where she'll come with her Goku outfit, her 2-star Goku outfit, which is basically her I guess it's like her power suit, so to speak. She looks like a
Is that the one where she has the jacket and
Yeah.
the,
And the hat, the jacket,
Yeah.
and all that, and
Oh,
all the
yeah.
weapons, and all the weapons. So, I'm assuming that would either be like a DX set or something that would just be like a Good Smile online release. But
but if they don't do that,
I'm still gonna get the figure.
it's
She's my favorite
just a
character.
schoolgirl with a bowl cut, right?
It's cool with a ball cut, but her accessories would probably be like the dog guts, a bag of
But-
random stuff. Yeah,
I feel like
it's mainly expressions
if
as
you
well.
wanted this ahead of time, you could have just bought one of the other 1,000
No, it's not as
schoolgirls that
good.
Figma makes
No,
and get a
it's-
bowl cut
It's
hair.
specific. Her face is specific. Her character, her expressions are specific. Like I've got all the Nendos of her already. I've got the 2 that came out.
To be fair, I still have not seen Kill a Kill because they never put the dubbed version on Netflix.
Really? Oh, is that
Yeah.
a Crunchyroll thing? Maybe.
I guess so.
Maybe.
They had. I know they did a dubbed version.
Yeah, they're for sure.
Make
For
it
sure they did that
accessible
one.
for me.
Okay, that's unfortunate. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That's actually the one that I'm looking forward to the most because I've waited years for that one.
I can see just based on the design why you're anticipating it so heavily.
Yeah. Looking at the design, thinking she's kind of just
It's a schoolgirl with
she's
a
a
bowl cut.
schoolgirl
dude.
with a bowl cut. She's a schoolgirl with a bowl cut. I'm like, yeah, she's that.
You're not wrong. You're not
The
wrong.
next,
And you just got Sakura, so clearly there's a theme.
there we go. It's a theme. It's a theme. The next one that's just an image that was announced was Medicos. They do the JoJo's Bizarre action figures.
Okay.
This one is part of their super articulated statue line, and they've got the license now for Kinshiro from Fist of the North Star.
Nice.
so-
Well, they also just put out a new game for him, so maybe.
Yeah, it could be. Like it's got
Time.
it's got a sign up there. It's like 35th anniversary, so maybe it's for that purpose.
Yeah, maybe they
But,
timed it all. around
yeah,
that
it
or
makes sense. I know in America, the Storm Collectibles has the license for this,
something. Okay.
but because licenses work differently.
Do you know
depending on
what
the country.
scale this is going to be?
Oh, it's this one's most likely going to be the regular size, so it's going to be like the 6-inch scale, the 1/12 scale.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because they
Because the other ones are slightly taller, right?
no I actually Edwin was actually asking me the size of these things before, and I showed him a comparison image. I'll probably pop the image up here as well, since there's now visuals.
The JoJo
Um,
one, or the JoJo
yeah,
ones you
I've got
have
JoJo's
already.
ones. Yeah, I've got the JoJo ones, and if it's the same size as those ones, then I'll the photo that I has basically shows it in comparison to the size of the SH Figure Arts Bodycoon and I think it was Sakura and Ryu.
And
So
they're
just
same
this,
size?
and they're roughly the same size. I mean, scale wise, their design, their aesthetics are slightly different because they've got like
You got the
smaller
super
heads.
long legs and
They've got
whatnot.
smaller heads,
Right.
but they're essentially height wise, they kind of match. They
Okay.
match. So, like, if you have them kind of posed together, they'll look decent. The difference is though.
Just hit some angles, you'll be all right.
Oh, absolutely. The thing that you'll notice about the picture, if the ones that I'm gonna probably show here, is that the way Metacos handles their figures, they do a lot of paint work.
Okay.
Like for the price that you're paying, compared to like, because they compare price wise to SH Figure Arts and stuff, but if you compare like the paint job and
Mhm.
everything, you're like, this feels like it would be worth more. The essay,
Okay.
the Metacos one. I don't know why like other companies don't just follow that, but yeah.
What was that? What was that company that used to do the like movie quality versions of the Common Rider figures?
Oh, that's
SIC or
SIC.
something?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's also Bandai. Bandai.
Okay.
Yeah, they weren't 112. They were more of the 7 inch. I think like
Right. They
110
were
or
slightly
something. Yeah, it
larger or
was slightly
something.
larger. The articulations were good, but very limited still. But yeah, that was the other one that was just an image.
Okay.
Now we'll go to the prototype stuff.
All
Basically,
right.
no color. Medicos, the same company that does the JoJo, they're also doing Summer Wars, King Kazuma, and Love Machine.
Okay, I did see these,
Yeah,
and I forgot that that was the villain from there. And I
yeah.
was like, why are they showing these ones together? But that one is the bad guy from that.
It's
I totally
strange though
forgot.
because
They did this already, didn't
yeah,
they?
Figma. Figma's got. I've got the Figmas, and I am personally like very happy with the Figmas already.
Does this one silhouette wise look better or any different to you than the Figma ones
If
did?
like the only like if they had done the I guess the battle version of King Kazuma where his hair is out,
Uh-huh.
he's got like blonde rough hair. That
Uh-huh.
one would have maybe made me consider it. But this is essentially the same version as the one that Figma released, and because of the Figma
Is his hair
aesthetics,
not out?
no, no, no. He's this version is just white hair. He's got a tall collar on this one.
So the version where because he takes the jacket off, he's got longer hair or something?
Yeah. All he, I think the jacket still remains, or the jacket comes off, but he's got like long, rough hair. Because when he fights Love Machine, he gets really thrashed.
Hmm. Do you think they
Uh,
would just do an alt head or something?
if they did, it would make me more inclined to consider it because the Figma never came with that. The Figma was just a straight regular version, which looks great though. That's the thing. Like it's probably one of the better Figmas.
How about Love Machine? How
Love
does
Machine
his
looks great. Again, the Figma Love Machine does the job. Like
but this one's sculpt doesn't seem any better or
right now,
worse.
because it's in a product. In
Silhouette
terms,
looks
the
great.
silhouette looks great. I think both of them. The silhouette looks fantastic.
Hmm.
I'll have to wait to see in color, but with King Kazuma specifically, I think the
Hmm.
Figma one does a good enough job. If not,
Okay.
very satisfied with that one. But yeah, like this was random because this film is not that. It's pretty old at this point.
All right.
So the fact that they're doing this now seems a little random, but
Mm.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Were those the only ones? Oh, and the other prototype stage was the Sentinel 1/6 Iron Spider.
This one looks pretty cool to me. It
It
looks
looks,
very
yeah.
like mecha. It looks like
Mm-hmm.
art armor. I to be perfectly honest with you, I like it more than the movie version of the Iron Spider suit. Like if this is what they had given us for
Ooh,
the Iron Spider
wouldn't
suit
that
in
be
the movie, I would have been
something?
like, "Whoa, that's
Yeah,
wicked."
I would have been
Uh,
like, whoa, okay, they're taking
Especially if
things.
they had done it how this one has it, where it's like armor pieces that could
Mm-hmm.
have like gone over the top of his basic suit or something.
Like he still could have been Spider-Man underneath that. That's why I'm
Right.
curious about what this figure is because there's no information on this. Sentinel just uploaded the image. Oh,
Uh,
it was there in WonderFest, but they just recently uploaded the image to their Instagram, and it's like, yep, this is
what else has Sentinel done?
Sentinel do the Riobot line. They do
Riobot.
Riobot. They do a bunch
What
of
is
mecha
Riobot?
stuff. They do a bunch.
Okay.
They collaborate a lot with Thousand Toys.
Are those the guys that did the little articulated
Yeah,
android
the
things?
synthetic humans. That's them. That's Thousand Toys. They also did
Okay. The snake eyes
the
or
Snake
whatever.
Eyes, yeah, and the Storm Shadow, which are all top notch, pricey but
This
top
kind of
notch.
reminds me of that, though, to be honest, that snake eyes kind of
That's
body or whatever.
I. It wouldn't surprise me if underneath it is that,
Right.
because it's a very standard body that they tend to use, which
Yeah.
to me
Just with
I'm
cloth
fine with.
over it.
Yeah, I'm fine with, because in terms of articulation and quality, it's very solid.
And the pieces that they add to it make it look different enough to
Absolutely,
where if this
absolutely.
was a 1/12 scale figure, I would get
Ah, and because they do 1/12 figures,
yeah.
I don't know.
When you first sent it,
Mm.
just because it had the cloth
Yeah,
body
yeah.
on it and stuff, and I didn't assume it was 12. I just thought maybe it was those guys that did the like the Cap and the
Right,
Dark
right.
Knight
Okay,
Batman or
yep, yep.
whatever with the cloth. I assumed it was like that, but
The Mezco
um,
ones.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But
It looks cool though.
it looks great.
I
Uh,
can't wait to see it with color to see if it's like actually like metallic or any of
mm-hmm.
that.
Oh, that's right. That's true. Or what color the fabric even is.
Yeah, I'm real curious to
Mm.
see. But the
So yeah,
prototype looks
no
pretty cool.
information yet. Hopefully, with more information, we'll get an idea of what the hell this is even for.
Right. What do we have
Um,
next?
next up, let's go with the Revoltech.
Okay.
So amazing Yamaguchi.
Is there more than one image of the Psylocke?
There is. I've only got one up there, but
I'll just pull it up here. That's fine. Go
let's.
ahead.
I've shown you the images already, I think,
Right, right.
but I'll put them up. But yeah, amazing Yamaguchi. The Revoltech line is now powered by I forget who, but it's yeah they're doing Psylocke now.
Now, are you automatically interested in this
This one
Psylocke
more so, more so
more
than
so than Magneto
Spider
or
Man.
Wolverine or
Yeah,
any
yeah,
of
the
that?
Magneto, the Wolverine, they were like okay. The Wolverine was actually cool. I think Magneto looked cool too. I wasn't. I was always a little bit weirded out by the cape, the way they handle the cape still.
Hmm.
Like I understand that it's all pieces and stuff, but and it's for articulation, but it just looks weird how it's segmented pieces.
Right.
Like if they did say Archangel,
Oh,
yeah, right. The pieces would
how
make
would they
sense.
make that thing stand up, man? You'd have to use a stand with
Oh,
it.
most of these would like most of the Revoltex they tend to use stands because of how dynamic you'd want to pose them anyways.
Yeah,
So
I mean, like with the Psylocke for me is pretty like automatic. Like I think it's gonna be good just because I already have the Gwen
oh
and
right,
the body looks very similar to me that as the Gwen body.
that's
It
right.
just
You
looks
do
like
have
they
the
kind of
Gwen.
reshaped it a little bit, but uh, so I feel like it'll move cool. The head sculpt specifically, uh, I'm a little bit so-so on the actual face of it. I think the hair is kind of interesting. They did it like ribbons, sort of.
Yeah,
Um,
it's I like the transparency.
yeah, I think the transparency thing is cool. And I like that they picked, that classic outfit. I kind of wish they would have gave her the like crimson whatever, the red slash thing on her eye,
Right,
like the
right.
Joe Mad era version.
That would have been neat. I
Um,
forgot to also include into the notes, which I'll just send you the link. I'm not. I'm pretty sure I showed it to you, but Revoltech also announced the Deathstroke.
yes. Deathstroke looks tight.
Yeah,
Um,
it's to match the Batman that they did, I guess.
I'm actually more curious about that Batman. I want to see more of that. Um,
I thought it was out already, or I'm not sure
the
if it's.
Batman is out
Yeah, I
already?
don't know. I think they've. I
I
don't
thought that
know.
was prototype
Oh,
too,
it
because
might
it
have been
looks
just. It
like,
might still be prototype still. I'm mistaken
yeah, because
because I
it's
know.
like comic Batman. I've never seen
Yeah.
a Revoltech comic Batman.
No, no. It's still in prototype.
He looks. They showed the color version of it. I remember
Hmm.
googling it after you sent me the link initially, and he looks dope. They did the same thing
With the
as
cape.
Magneto though with the
Yeah. With
segmented cape. I
I
mean, it
think
gives you some
right.
crazy pose options, so it's still like, oh man, kind of
I
cool.
know there are a lot of customizers now that will make actually the fabric wire cape, which
Mm,
because they did that for the Magneto, and I've seen a lot of them where that's probably what people would might end up doing, like in terms of like they'll buy the Magneto, they'll buy that fabric cape, and they'll
mhm.
just use it because it's got the wires and everything.
I think the pose things are cool. I mean, what you're capable of doing, I think, is really neat looking.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, so it does make it tempting. The Mafex Dark or Batman v Superman they did
yes,
had the wider cape, and I
yes.
remember when I first got yours out of the box, I
Mm-hmm.
was doing all kinds of stuff with that
Yeah,
to
I've
see
got
what was
mine posed
possible.
right now. It looks great.
Yeah, so I think that stuff is cool too. You don't get the like comic book like
No, that's the thing. Yeah,
jaggedy
yeah, yeah.
edges,
Mm-hmm.
but
The
it's
folds, the
still.
creases.
I think if they once they start giving you both as an option,
Yep.
that's when we've all won as
It's kind
collectors.
of, yeah, it's become like super premium at that point if they give you the option of the the static or the articulated cape and then the fabric cape. But
I
yeah,
imagine that
I
these
think
are most popular with like Marvel vs. Capcom fans
they'd have to be. Like that
because if
Psylocke looks straight up.
the Psylocke, the Magneto is fully
Hmm.
MVC
Like
Magneto.
if they
Like,
do Cyclops, I might.
oh yeah, 90s Cyclops is
Yeah,
gonna be
that's what I
probably
mean.
my
Because
favorite.
like
The
these designs are
Wolverine is
closer.
pretty
It
cool.
is. It's close enough.
I don't know what it is that deters me with the
I don't
Wolverine. I
like the
think I just
face.
don't. I don't like how big the claws are because I just
Oh, they're too
really
comical?
they're too huge. How do those?
Okay.
They don't fit in his forearms. Come on.
Yeah, yeah, it's but yeah, a Cyclops that would I don't know. I might or a
Cyclops
Gambit.
would be pretty tempting.
Gambit would be weird because of
But
the
see,
yeah.
they do the
Mm-hmm.
segmented
Yeah.
jacket thing.
Yeah. And I wouldn't I don't know if I'd be fully down for
But
that.
pose wise, that Wolverine is all the MVC poses. They fully get him into those.
Oh yeah. That's without a doubt. Without a doubt.
And I'm sure if they did a Cyclops, it'd be same boat.
Right?
So
Because they did a cap. The cap actually looks good. I saw some reviews and he
the
looks
cap
good.
looks good. My only issue is it was like a random choice on which suit they went for because they did like old Ultimates cap, or I don't know
Well,
if it's old
loose. It's
Ultimates
like
or even like
loosely.
more recent
Yeah,
Ultimates cap.
it's bizarre, but he's huge.
He is yoked up because it almost again it feels like they were going for like
Mm-hmm.
the silhouette of the MVC
Which is
stuff.
so good. I wish if it was that cap.
Yeah.
Oh, way more
Do you think you'd prefer that to the cap they gave us?
probably. Because then it would, to me,
Mm,
in my head, it'd be like, oh, this is Marvel versus Capcom,
right. I
and
don't know.
automatically there's
I
that,
don't
and
know
it's
which.
yeah, I don't know.
Mezco did that cap, right?
It's yeah, I don't know. I don't
I
like
don't remember if they did the pirate boots cap where he has the
right.
big bells
That's
on the top and the wingy
yeah.
dingies.
I don't know. Thinking about it now, that would be weird. But Revoltech might do a decent job of it. That's the thing.
Yeah, I
You
know
know,
he posed crazy,
yeah, it was
whatever they.
amazing.
Um,
Next up,
yeah.
we're done with the Revoltech. So that was that. It was Psylocke and Deathstroke that they revealed.
Hmm.
Medicom Mafex, they're doing a comic line. They recently showed Spider Man
Yep.
and Gwenpool, and now they've also shown Deadpool, which
Yeah.
oddly looks like the
Very
Figma.
similar to the
Yeah,
Figma one.
very. It's
Yeah.
almost like they were given like a similar concept image to base it off. So
Hmm.
just run off this, and
It looks very similar. Yeah. The expression is really nice though.
I do. I love the big eye.
Hmm.
It looks great. And now also a comic book Venom.
Yes, but it's very spelt Venom.
Yes,
He's
it's very
very
sleek.
slim
Mm-hmm.
comparatively to I think what we imagine at this point because everybody's so used to the more current like super bulky Venom.
It's like Marvel vs. Capcom
Uh,
Venom.
all right. But I think it looks cool.
It does.
I think it looks high quality.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be hard to justify if they charge more for this Venom though, because he doesn't look that much different than a Spider-Man would be.
Yes.
Uh, but I know that like they typically, if it's Venom or somebody where they're even slightly bigger, they
Yeah,
usually tend to up the price
I hate
slightly.
that. Mm-hmm. Like I
So
think
just
Spidey's
hope
like
they don't do that.
$70 at this point,
All right.
65, 70 already. He's gonna be 75, 80, maybe even 90.
Yeah. So I hope they don't
Yeah.
go that route because there's no reason for it.
Well, if we base it off the Spider-Man, Spider-Man's gonna come with a Peter Parker head,
Hmm.
Bunch of hands as usual. This one might come with. It'll probably. I mean, it
Did
has
they
to.
show any of that stuff yet?
Yeah, I think there's images floating around of the Spider-Man comic head already.
Really?
Yeah, he looks like old school Peter Parker.
Hmm.
I'll try and find some images. But
I also didn't know until you had sent me the links before that they are doing RoboCop and
oh right, right.
I think I'd seen maybe the Eggsy one, but I
Yep,
don't think I had seen the RoboCop.
they're doing. I think RoboCop. There's a different RoboCop for RoboCop 2 and RoboCop 3,
Okay,
and they're also doing Alien.
Alien.
Yeah, the Alien one looks great actually. The
Oh, they did do
Xenomorph.
RoboCop 3 with the
Yeah, with the
jetpack.
jetpack.
I had one of those as a kid.
Yeah, I did too. It was garbage.
Yeah, it was huge and it
It
made like
was.
noises and
Mm-hmm.
crap.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
I always left the backpack attached because I'm like, his articulation is garbage, so he'll just fly.
Yeah.
And he had the arm cannon, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I had the
That thing
same one.
made a lot of noise. It
If
was
they make
great.
Kane,
Ooh, but it'd be huge. It'd be
eh,
huge.
it would be. It'd be
It'd be
pricey
like a
too.
Hulk Buster, but
That price would be disaster. Actually, wait.
yeah, it'll be a
Mayfex
lot.
has done something large. They've done Hulkbuster.
Yeah, but that's not the same as
Right,
like
it's not a
Hulk.
Hulk. Yeah, yeah, that's
You're
true.
right.
That's true. Doing a mecha is not the same as a mech
Yeah,
suit is not the same as doing like an organic type thing.
yeah, it's
Because
a bit different,
Venom
but
looks good though.
still,
Venom, I
Venom
mean, he
looks
looks good.
cool.
So
Down
does
to
the
check him
Deadpool.
out.
So does Deadpool.
I don't, but okay, so we were talking about that before
Mm-hmm.
too, because it is very similar to the Figma
And you've
one.
got the
I
Figma
don't
one.
know. I do. I don't
Yeah.
know if I can justify getting
Oh
it in
no,
Moffic's form, even though I do like Moffic's
you
as
do.
a
That's like
brand.
that's your favorite at this
Yeah,
point. Yeah.
but but the classic suit for sure.
Yeah.
The the Venom, I'm pretty certain I will get.
Infinity War
I
Iron Spider though.
well, yeah, because I waited
Yeah, you waited
purposely
specifically for that. You avoided the
to get
SH
them.
one.
Yeah,
Right.
get
Yeah.
them that way rather
And I
than get
mean,
them.
the Mayfix looks better in general.
Yeah, I do like the
It's
Mayfix
got
one.
the metallics. It's got
I hope they haven't shown anything, but I still am hoping with all hopes that they do the advanced suit for the PS4 game because
because
I
that's
would
the one
like
that
to
you
get that
want.
one too. I
Okay.
want that one too. I do.
Marvel Legends is doing that one, correct?
I think I did see
Yeah,
that
I
they were
think they
doing
are
that, but it didn't look great from
because I
what
know
I saw.
Marvel Legends also are doing a two pack of the Enter the Spider Verse, Spider Gwen and Miles Spidey.
Marvel Legends is?
Yeah, yeah, a two pack.
Hmm.
They announced this
I'd
in
like
San
to
Diego.
see.
They announced this
I'd
in
like
San
to.
Diego.
Did they show pictures of
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Because I'd like to see what the Miles suit looks like.
It's they built it on a smaller body because it makes sense. Yeah, just
Uh-huh.
type Marvel Legends, um, Spider Man and Spider Gwen. You'll see it. But because they announced a bunch of like new Marvel Legends during San Diego as well.
It was a STCC
Yeah, it
thing.
was STC's thing. Because they've got like a new Kingpin builder figure. They've
I've
got
not seen it pop up here.
they've got a Gambit Marvel like '90s Gambit Marvel Legends. There's a Blink, which looks great. But I'm like, I don't know, Marvel Legends, as good as they are, it's hard to compare them to any of the import stuff. Understandably so. I mean,
I'm not seeing these still.
you not seeing them?
Mm-mm.
Let me see if I can find it. I'll most likely
Okay.
do, 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 do. This
I
pack.
see like lists with them on it, but I don't see any pictures.
I can edit this stuff anyways. It's no big deal.
Also, unrelated, they said Spider Ham confirmed in
Yeah,
Spider Verse
John
trailer.
Mulaney's voicing him. Yeah.
Sure,
Isn't that
sure.
great?
Yeah, I feel like that fits.
Oh,
Why
and
not?
Spider
He
Noir,
can
and
be
that's
cute.
Nicolas Cage, I think.
Yeah, Nick Cage is
Yeah,
Spider
but I was
Noir.
like, John Mulaney's Spider Ham. All right, that
That's
sounds
funny.
random and funny to me.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Let me see. I'm finding. I was like, he needs to be. He needs to voice more cartoon characters.
Yeah. And I just imagine he'll be a great voice for that specific one.
Oh, they you did like the video game Spider-Man, correct? Because they're doing a Hot Toys of that one, but
Yeah, I saw that
it's
and it
Hot
looks tight,
Toys.
but I'm
Yeah,
not getting the Hot Toys
yeah,
because
no.
not happening.
Yeah,
They're
no.
amazing, but it's too much. It's too all the things basically.
It is. It's everything. It's just.
Yeah.
I think I can find the image now for you of the 2 pack. Here we go.
Uh,
Found it. I'm scrolling down so I can get a better image for ya. Boom. It's alright, the image, but it's clear enough, I think. I will link it to you and there, and I will paste it here for the people to see as well. This image is from toyarc.com. They had a bunch of images. There's more pictures I can show you too.
okay.
Let me know once you see them.
Uh, I'm looking at them now.
There's a second one that I pasted to you. They're built on smaller body, on the slightly smaller ones. But yeah, I was like, yeah, there's the Enter the Spider-Verse versions.
Huh.
They're also re-releasing Ultron from the movie with
I
with a
mean,
big
I
paint job.
also like I get that it's like on model that his suit
Mm.
is like paint splotchy and stuff, but it just makes the figure look hella bootleg.
It looks like I've seen customs better, do you know?
Right.
Especially like the customs based on the bodycoon.
Like how the look at the fingers or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, it just kind of looks like they held his hand up and went, all right.
But that might
But
be
I don't.
accurate.
Maybe that's how it looks. But I'm
Yeah.
just saying it. It doesn't look great on in figure form.
No, it's a little harder to translate, I
The
guess.
Spider Gwen, she basically looks the same, except they went ham on her titty spikes and they gave her the ballerina shoes. Which I don't know why she's got ballerina shoes if she's
Maybe
supposed
it's
to
part
be
of
a
the
drummer in
character.
a rock
Yeah.
band. But I feel like they probably just didn't like the oh, they're Chuck Taylor bottoms that are just stuck there, so they look like slippers.
Yeah. This one at least is a little bit more distinct. But yeah, those are some San Diego reviews from a couple of weeks ago. But
What else we got?
that's it for the action figures, I think. Next up is the first image from Terminator.
So, does this fill your heart with excitement?
This image, no. I've got
Yeah.
nothing against
I mean,
women's being a
oh
little.
yeah.
That's
Did they put out any information about this, or did they just put this image out and go?
they've got like a short synopsis saying she's Sarah Connor's back. The lady in the middle, she's
Uh-huh.
like I don't think she's an android. I think she's got like cybernetic parts from the future.
Cybernetic parts from the
Yeah, that's why
future.
if you look at her, she's got like
I saw that she's got seams and
yeah,
shit.
yeah, like scarring almost, but not.
Because I was when I was looking at it first, it was really small image, and I thought she was segmented like an action figure.
Cool. Makes it easier.
Um, I mean, it would make it easier, but I feel like they definitely didn't do that when you
No,
zoom in on
no.
it. It's like scarring that implies that they opened up her meat and maybe put some stuff
Yep,
underneath it.
yep, yep. And
And she looks like kind of, she's like cut, like she looks like she works out.
mhm.
She's got awful hair.
It's odd.
She looks a little like Justin Bieber when he was taking those photos for Calvin Klein or whatever. He just had the wife beater on. It looks a little like that, but
And the other one is a waitress character that
oh,
kind of gets,
is that like shout out because she was a waitress at the beginning?
yeah, who? Oh, maybe.
Sarah Connor
Maybe.
originally
Maybe, yeah. Maybe it's a kind of that whole
passes
let's
the
yeah,
torch
pretty
thing.
much essentially. It could be that. Could be that.
And Ghost Rider is Terminator in this,
Yes.
apparently.
Yep.
I assume there's some sort of plot with John Connor because there always is.
Yes, they cast a little kid as John Connor.
Okay, so somehow old Sarah Connor and Cyber Parts Girl go back to when John. So they're going back to if that movie came out what 92 or something,
Yeah,
93.
yeah. But they're going back maybe late 80s
That's what I'm saying.
because John
If it's
Connor isn't a
before,
teenager, he's a kid.
right?
Yeah,
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying. If he's a kid, then it's got to be an '80s flick.
Oh, dang, they're
The
going.
waitress doesn't necessarily pop immediately to me as '80s,
No.
but maybe they're just going subtle with it, so it's not distracting.
Right, right, right. Where it's not
Uh,
like she doesn't have the big frilly
right?
hair.
She didn't need one ponytail on the side and
Right.
a scrunchie or some dumb shit.
They probably could have, but I'm sure. And the thing is, she could have rocked that look at the start of the film, but now it's like,
No, she
yeah,
can't.
I don't
They
know.
can't have her Bailey it up when she's standing next to Sarah Connor. Um, but anyway, I guess that's cool. Nothing
Yeah.
about this makes me go, "Woo, can't wait."
No, no. I mean, it's not what you know. The information is James Cameron's back to produce
Right.
it. Tim
Tim
Miller's
Miller's
directing it.
directing.
So
Right.
that's already two things that I'd be like, yeah, cool, could be good,
The yeah,
could be good.
I'm, the Tim Miller part is the only thing about this that I'm excited about
Right.
because I've not seen him on anything else other than Deadpool
Hmm.
yet, outside of the stuff he did for games, which I love.
We
So
also
if
really haven't seen a Terminator flick that um, Cameron's
is
been
good,
involved with since the second one.
that's true. But he also did vouch for Genesis and said
He
that
did.
movie was gonna be good or whatever. He
He
was like,
did.
"This is the truest version of what could have happened next." Blah blah blah. And
Uh,
that movie was fine,
I
but
think
I've
trailers ruined
heard it
that film.
before. Is what I'm saying. Yes, for sure. They shouldn't have given away the John Connor thing. That was ridiculous.
No.
But it was all right. Had J.K. Simmons in it.
I think I would have enjoyed it more if I had not known about a lot of the things prior
I
to
didn't even
watching it.
mind Jai Courtney in it or whatever,
He
but
was
I for
fine.
sure would have liked somebody else in that
Sure.
part probably better.
Yeah, yeah.
Pick like a Joel Kinnaman or something like that, and I
He would
probably
have
would have
been
liked it like 10 times more
infinite,
probably.
like almost infinitely better.
Right.
Joel Kinnaman's
So
way beyond that.
yeah, I think literally do the same thing, the
Yeah.
sneakers and everything, and I'd be
Oh,
like, yeah, I can get behind that.
yep. I'd be
Anyway,
like, oh, cool, better film.
I hope this is good because I
Yeah.
really like Tim Miller, and I want him to have a big success after he was kind of abruptly taken off
Right.
Deadpool 2,
Yeah.
which was his conception.
Hmm.
And so
I
I
mean,
hope
we
this is
saw
dope.
Deadpool too, so it's not like you know it was. I mean,
I
I
saw
still.
Deadpool 2,
I,
and I liked it, but to me, it was clearly not done by the same
no,
filmmaker.
not at all.
And which is fine, but I want a success story out of Tim Miller because I
Yeah.
I really think that guy's awesome. I think the stuff he did on the games is awesome. I think
Right.
the stuff he's still done the best Justice League movie of all time
Absolutely.
in the opening sequence he did for DC Universe Online.
Absolutely. That's still the
Uh,
best thing I've seen DC that's close to live action.
right. And before the Justice League movie came out, we had
Hmm.
talked about it. We were like, if it doesn't beat this, then what was the point? And
And it.
frankly, sir,
Oh,
what was the fucking point? Because that DC Universe Online opener is still better than everything we've gotten so far out of
it didn't
DC.
touch that.
No, not even fucking close. Not even close.
It didn't even touch that.
All right, next thing.
Next and last thing, I guess, of this episode is the San Diego Comic Con trailer for Venom has finally been, I guess, released out to public.
it's finally been released. We
Finally
finally
been
get to
released.
see what he looks like, full body
Mm-hmm.
Jeffrey. We finally get to hear some real dialogue out of
Yep.
this character. And boy, oh boy, does he say turd at some point in
Also, he
this
says a
trailer.
lot of things which people need subtitles for.
I didn't have okay, so I've heard this that people had
I'm okay
issues
with
with.
it.
I didn't have
Nah.
any issues hearing what he was saying. I
I've
didn't
spoken
understand
to
it.
a couple people and they were like they had to watch it a couple times to actually make out what he was actually saying.
I could understand him way more than I could understand Bane. So if you got through Dark Knight Rises, you'll be fine. Um, but
Let's
he's
yeah, the
yeah, to
trailer's
me,
out. You see Venom. What are your thoughts on Venom, dude?
it was a lot of uh, Venom telling people what he's about to do and then doing it, which was kind of weird to me. It's a lot of like holding dudes and then going, "I'm gonna eat your face and then eat your butt and then eat
Yeah.
your socks and then eat your nose
And
and then
then
you're
I'm
gonna
actually
be a
gonna
poop."
do it.
And then he bites him.
Yep.
And then the other scene is he like regenerates himself from the horrible bike accident, which I assume what happens is
Oh, it
because you
has
remember in
to.
the old
Yeah.
trailer
How
they
he
showed him launch into
Yep,
the
yep.
air. I'm assuming he lands
Oh
terribly,
yeah. It's gonna
and
be
then
funny.
Venom
Like, is this still
puts
gonna
his
be
body back
funny?
together. I okay, so here's what I think is happening. I kind of think that Venom is going to be like Deadpool for
I think
the
so.
Spider Verse. I think it's going to be like a hard R thing where it's sort of jokey and dark.
But it's
Uh,
gonna be like black comedy almost.
right. I do feel like he's going to eat it after that
Oh, he
motorcycle
has,
jump
and
and
that's
then
where he
be
gets
put back
fixed. Yep.
together by Venom. And then he does the whole like, I'm going to eat your pancreas, or your, I know he says pancreas, and I like the way he said it, but like, your pancreas. He kind of hisses when he talks, which is really bizarre. And I
The
actually
tongue.
really liked uh, the way that he expresses
Mm.
uh, at the very end when he's doing the "You're gonna be a turd" rolling down the street in the wind. Which who says turd in the wind? I've never heard that in my entire life. But
Venom.
anyway, when he says like a turd in the wind, and you can see
Yeah.
his like face light
Yeah.
up, like he's really excited about it.
Do you think they've mocapped him for when they
Oh,
yeah,
if they didn't mocap it, I'm sure they
they
had him
animate it.
act the scene
Yep,
and then use that as
for sure.
reference
For
because
sure.
it's very expressive. Uh, some of the stuff was just kind of like bizarre dialogue wise, but it looks interesting. I'm okay, so I'm also confused. When I saw the trailer, it looked to me like one symbiote is infecting several people, which I believe is the big bad guy Riot symbiote. It looked like he's like jumping from person to person and he ends up on the dude from Star Wars.
Yeah. Which again, you did, why did you need to show this?
I mean, I don't know. Okay, so there's also this. So he does the whole thing with the blades. They
Yep.
show him like he's big and he does the very
Mm-hmm.
carnage like blades thing.
Right. Right.
And then they show the lady who's infected with one, but it
Mm-hmm.
looks like the same symbiote color to me.
Sure.
It's like bits of silver, black, and red. So it looks like the same symbiote to me when she's doing knife hand and cutting people.
Unless like when the symbiote goes onto you and then it leaps to somebody else, it leaves part of it on you and that becomes something else.
I don't know, man, because they also have one scene where they show the little containers of the symbiote,
Mm-hmm.
and one of them is very clearly a yellow symbiote.
Which is the girl.
Yeah, there's two girls,
Yeah,
but there
yeah.
is one that's like yellow color, and so I was like, I mean, that could definitely be that one going on other stuff. I almost kind of wonder like if they're showing us one thing, but we're gonna get another thing when the stuff comes out. Because if you go back to the first trailer,
Mm.
they had the motorcycle scene where Eddie Brock is riding down the road
Before he
and
eats
cars
it.
just start
Yeah,
flipping
yeah, yeah,
over.
yeah, yeah. Because his
And
symbiote basically like smashes on the
but
side
they
and
don't
shit.
show the symbiote in the first one. It's just him driving the
Oh,
motorcycle
right,
and
right.
cars start.
Could it have been
Also,
because the
they show
trailer
the
didn't
off.
have like the effects yet?
But why would you put that scene in
Yeah, I
the
don't know.
trailer? Because they also show the same scene with the big riot guy knifing all the tables.
Mm-hmm.
That scene is also in that first trailer, but there's nothing doing that there's just an
Oh,
office and
right.
everything goes flying in a direction.
Right,
So
which made
everybody's
no
like,
sense.
what is that? Is it like,
Yeah.
is there a psychic thing or
Unless it's like, yeah, it's why would you show pre effects versions of
yeah, don't
scenes?
even put that show that at Comic-Con
Yeah.
last year. Don't put that to the public where they're
Mm-hmm.
like, well, there's a bunch of shots where I think something
It's
happens
like
in
it's not
this.
even ready.
Yeah, so I wonder how much of what we're seeing here.
Or just whether or not what we're seeing is even going to be the final versions of things, right?
That's what I'm
Because
saying.
like you know how Marvel, you know the Marvel trailer specifically, how they'll just
They'll take stuff out or
remove
whatever.
stuff
Yeah.
completely.
Hmm.
They could be doing that. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, that spear hand of that lady, it's yellow.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
maybe it'll be a thing where those symbiotes are different when we
Mm-hmm.
see the
Mm-hmm.
final version.
Right. Right.
But
Right.
from what I've seen right now, it looks like one. It looks like the same symbiote on all three of those people because they show it like infected dude with long hair as well,
Sure. Sure.
and he's like all contorted and weird.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so it could be something with that. There's also they showed like a girl in a lab, and it
Okay.
looks like a small girl. Like that could be the same as the Asian lady with the security outfit on,
Right.
but it looks like a smaller person.
Okay.
So I wonder if that is one of the other symbiotes because I think the other female symbiote is like kind of purple,
Okay.
and they show her in like sort of a burgundy light. So
How many symbiotes? Oh, okay. So the lighting is implying which symbiote they're gonna get,
I'm
basically.
I'm guessing. I don't know that for
Right. That's.
sure.
I mean, it's very
Yeah,
comic-y.
yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Uh, I think there's five in the original
They're
story.
gonna do five. You reckon in this one?
I, I don't know. Well, here's the other thing. We talked about it on the show
Mm,
before, a long time ago.
mm.
Woody Harrelson was cast in this movie
Yes.
somewhere,
Yep. He's
and
in
the
this.
speculation is he's Cletus Cassidy.
Yeah.
But I kind of also feel like they're kind of throwing everything on the table because they also said something like there's something cool, to set up a potential sequel if people
Sure.
like it and want to go that way. So I don't like just based on what we've seen so far, there's going to be Venom eating people
Yep.
because he's bad guy who's a good guy or whatever.
Kind of. Yeah.
I wonder if there's a thing where at the end of the movie he gets sent to like prison or something
And that's where he meets him.
for
But let's
murdering
see.
all those people, and Cletus Cassidy is there, and he gets part of that symbiote. So they don't
Sure.
even have to show Carnage.
No.
They just say, "We got Woody Harrelson for the
Mm-hmm.
next one. We locked him down,
Mm-hmm.
so he'll be there for a sequel if you want to do a thing."
Yeah. Let's hope it
Uh,
makes money, guys. So
right.
let's do a
So
sequel.
I don't know. And all that is cool. It just sucks because it means probably not going to see Carnage or this version of Venom ever fight Spider-Man.
Mm.
And so it's hard for me to be as excited. Like if I had seen this version of Venom, even without the spider on his chest and everything, because the no spider on his chest and the no green spit does bum me out.
It does.
But if I saw this version of Venom,
In the Marvel movie?
like drop down in a scene where he's behind Tom
Spidey?
Holland, Peter
Oh.
Parker, and you're like, this is what we're setting up, then I'd be like, yes, this is
Yeah.
awesome. But because you're giving me this version of Venom, no green spit, no spider on his chest, I don't see Carnage. I only see another symbiote who I barely remember from like the Maximum Carnage game at
Right.
most because I wasn't even reading comics at that point.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so it just seems kind of underwhelming,
So, yeah.
even if it looks cool,
Yeah.
because a lot of the parts where it's just Eddie looks like that Upgrade movie, which I've still not seen.
Yeah.
But it looks it's like him apologizing for beating people
Yeah,
up in a
yeah.
room. Looks exactly like that trailer.
Yeah. Which I've
Uh,
still not seen also, but I've
yeah,
heard
I
it's a
want
great
to.
film.
Yeah, I've heard it's great.
I
I've
do
still
want to
not
watch
seen
it. I
Yeah,
don't think it's in the cinema right now, and that bums me out because it was a
yeah.
very limited release. I'm like, where's the
And it's
digital release so I can just buy it at this point?
but it's also weird because it was like starring the dude that looks hella like Tom
Yeah,
Hardy that was Shocker in Spider-Man.
right. He was also It's like
And so he's also a Spider-Man villain, and then he also went and did like a Venom movie, but Venom's a
without Venom.
cyber thing in
Hmm.
his head. So anyway, it looks cool, but
Yeah,
it's automatically less than because it's not connected.
exactly. Yeah, that's
And they
exactly it. It's automatically lesser than what it could be
right,
because it's not linked. And I know people are like doesn't need to be linked, and I'm like, but that's Venom.
and it just means if it's good, it's going to be even more irritating that it's not connected. People will
Exactly.
really care if it's good.
Oh,
If it's crap, then we'll go, oh well, at least it wasn't connected.
exactly.
But if
Right,
it's
right,
good, well, I'll be like, oh, come on. Now
right.
we have Venom and he's
Mm-hmm.
awesome, and we can't see him fight Spider-Man.
We can't even
We're gonna
see
have
him in
Carnage,
that
and we
book.
can't
Yeah.
see that.
Oh, like those are essentially they're very big players in the Spider-Man stable of characters. Why would you
Yeah,
not
man.
have any of them even
Venom
take
and
part?
Carnage is kind of the only place to go past Norman
Yes, that's
because
why
because Norman is his arch enemy, but
you
but
can't even go
Norman kind of
Kingpin.
has a code. Nah, because he's in
He's
the
in Netflix.
Daredevil
That's why I'm
verse,
like, that's why that sucks as well. Because it's like, who
and
does Spidey have?
they're doing a Craven the Hunter movie
Which
now.
is
Just got
cool.
announced.
Yeah.
They're doing Morbius as a movie,
Oh wait,
so
Craven is not going to be part of Spider-Man.
he's part of he's it's a Sony movie.
Oh my gosh.
So and it's supposed to be the director that just did Equalizer 2. So it might be good action wise or whatever because people seem to like those movies, but they're just kind of neutering his roster of villains. And from what we've seen so far of what the Sinister Six are going to be in Spider-Man's movies, we got Mysterio, Vulture, Scorpion. Those are interesting characters, I guess, on their own, but none of them are really that big of a threat to him.
Mm.
And I guess, if they want to bring back Shocker again,
Yeah,
because
he's
he's
alive.
technically showed up already, but
Yep,
I
yep.
don't know how much they would need him on the team.
No,
They I don't know if we're going to even get like a Norman thing eventually. Like I'd like it, but who knows how long they're going to take to do that. They're
that's my
taking a
thing
long time to
also.
set it up.
Like how, but honestly, at this point though, that's like doing a Batman movie without the hint or mention of Joker.
Right. But they're already doing Spider-Man movies where they're trying to do none of the stuff that we've seen in a Spider-Man movie,
I think that
which
the
is
thing
why
about that,
we
which
don't
is
see him
fine.
swinging around New York ever, which is
Again,
Garbatron.
yeah, if you're gonna do Osborn, I understand taking time to get to that,
Yeah.
but they better get to it though.
We'll see,
Whether or
man.
not they take time to do that, that's fine. Like you wanna ease people back into it. You don't want to just rush into that. Perfectly understandable, but that has to be something that happens still.
It does. Like my main thing is I just don't like that if they're gonna take all the most interesting villains that I'd
And
like to
not have
see
him
take
be
on
part of it.
Spider-Man
Hmm.
and remove them from the picture is just kind of annoying. Like I've been craving to see Black Cat in a Spider-Man movie since they started making Spider-Man movies. She's my favorite female character in that
Hmm.
verse that's a super character or whatever, and they've they hinted at her. They were going to cast her when Raimi was doing the
Sure.
movies, and they decided to do Gwen instead. But they were supposed to cast the chick from Girl Next Door.
Oh, okay.
Can't remember.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't remember her name, but she was the one that was supposed to be up
Yep.
for it,
Yeah.
which would have been rad.
Yeah.
They even when they did the movie tie-in game for the Raimi Spider-Man thing
She
for
was there.
part two, she was
Oh,
in it because there were still plans for her to
cool,
be in
cool,
it.
cool, cool.
That was when they were going to have Vulture in the movie as well. It was supposed to
Right.
be
Okay.
Vulture and Black Cat.
Okay.
So I'm like, please do that. But if they do the Silver and Black movie, then
Yeah.
she's not gonna be in there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just very bizarre.
You mentioned
Um,
earlier Craven movie.
yeah,
Why?
I don't know. That was another weird one too, because he was supposed to be a villain in Coogler's Black Panther. He was going to be a villain in that, but then they decided to go with Killmonger instead last minute,
That's fine.
which was fine.
But
But
see,
I kind of wish they would have went with Craven because
Craven is great
we ended
because
up
he's
getting
perfect.
yeah, and we ended up just getting Black Panther with gold trim as the villain in
Yeah.
that,
Yeah. Like an Iron
and
Man. It's an Iron
Killmonger.
Man thing.
Right. And he was way more interesting outside the suit. So I feel like if they had done a thing where it was like Killmonger, Claw, and Craven all team up to
Oof.
take down the Panther would have been a lot cooler
Right.
than just
And
going
that
like,
way you can at
there's a
least
second Black Panther now.
that way you can have Craven then go, oh, what is this Spider-Man? I need to hunt
Right.
that too.
Yeah, and
Like
but not anymore, I guess maybe.
a
So
Craven movie. Why?
I don't know. What do you even have him do? Is he
Yeah,
just hunting down the lizard or something? But
but
he's
that's
a
dumb. So
wild
it's a
animal.
villain hunting another villain.
I mean, a lot of the stories start off with Craven hunting other types of animals,
Sure,
and
I'm
then
not gonna give a shit about a him hunting like animals or like wild beasts, which
yeah,
aren't gonna mean anything. That's the thing. Craven is not gonna mean much when he's not part of that bigger picture. I don't think.
yeah, it's bizarre. But even Morbius, you're like,
At least with
I guess that would
Morbius,
be cool if Blade could show up, and then
that's
it's like a segue
but
into
they
like
don't.
Blade
They don't
this,
have that.
but
They don't have the rights for that.
Marvel does though.
Right.
So they could lend them Blade if they're not going to do anything with him. Because everybody was like, oh, now that they've got all the Netflix stuff, we'll get Blade on Netflix, but that never happened. So maybe they'll trade him for something else they want, you know?
What would it be though? What would you trade him for if you could from Sony?
Well, if like saying they have all the Spider-Man stuff, what do we want from Spider-Man? Black Cat probably.
You would
There's a
personally get Black Cat.
there's a lot of rumors that Black Cat might be a character in uh, Far From Home.
Will it be the same character that's going to be in the
I assume
Silver
not.
and then what's the point?
I don't know.
That's
Because
my thing.
because you got to keep in mind they're already talking about doing Silk as well, but the character that Silk is in Homecoming. So if they do a Silk movie and it's not that Asian girl that's on his decathlon team or whatever, then they're already doing two versions of characters in the same verse not verse crap. So
And because of this, right? The
yeah,
only person I'm going to actually care about in this Sony Spider-Verse without Spidey
uh,
is no one.
right, right,
I'm not going to care about any of that because there's no link anymore. What's the
yeah.
point? Like they go, oh, but they're characters on their own. Absolutely, well, they are characters on their own, but there's no real investment anymore for me because they were only anything because they were part of that world first.
Yeah.
And from there, you were like, oh, I run attached to them and I will follow them in their own individual stories. But if it's not even linked to it anymore,
Mhm.
who's gonna care?
I mean, it's going to be harder for me to care certainly because
Right.
it just feels like neutering his rogues gallery. I really
Because
don't like it.
yeah, you're essentially taking all like, all right, we have the Spider Verse. Here's all the characters that he has. Let's we can make a movie of him. It's like, but who do we have left for Spider Man? Don't matter.
Yeah,
It
it's
doesn't
really
matter.
weird.
It doesn't matter.
It feels like that because they're like
Yep.
it doesn't matter because Marvel's getting to play with them anyway. So let's do our own thing where we make all the money off it. So we'll do Venom over here. We'll do all the other Spider-Man stuff we feel like we can maybe turn into a story by itself. People won't mind that there's no Spider-Man in it. We'll just imply or
It's
whatever. And that
almost
just irritates me.
it's
It makes
almost
it feel like the Netflix equivalent of
yeah. Yeah.
Spider-Man's universe.
But the Netflix at least, because you've got those Netflix characters, they have their own set of villains still.
They
You're not
do, but I
removing.
mean as far as how they're connected.
Oh,
Like,
sure,
you
sure,
know,
sure,
like
sure.
if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
go Defenders, it's technically part of the
Yeah,
MCU, but
yeah.
you never see
No, no,
any
no.
MCU people in
You
it.
won't see Cap.
They never even put Coulson in the damn thing,
Yeah,
and that would have been the easiest shit to
it really
do.
is.
Just have him show up. Oh,
If not
Coulson
even
showed
Coulson,
up.
Maria Hill.
But
Yeah,
anything,
yeah.
anything.
That's my
There's
thing.
been
Also, I'm like,
zero
is
cross.
are there matters and affairs not as drastic that they're not even being watched?
But I don't know, man, because that's the thing too. Is I feel like if they're supposed to exist in that level space,
Doctor
Spider-Man,
Strange.
Spider-Man should be seeing all this.
Doctor Strange is.
Doctor Strange probably would know about some dragon bones under the New York that turn everybody immortal.
Thank you. That's essentially it.
You
That's
know,
essentially
but
it.
also, in the comic books,
Oh, Spider Man. Yes, yes.
in the comic books, the Defenders could have showed up at Sanctum Sanctorum and been like, "There's some dragon bones down here." That's the freedom of in the comic books
Do you know how
versus in
cool
the
that would
movie.
have been, dude?
That's what I'm saying. I wish people would check out the comics in general, But things like they did that Defender series where David Marquez was doing the artwork. I think Bendis was writing it,
Hmm.
and it was essentially the Netflix team of heroes, but you got to see how they would really work in the Marvel world. So Blade can show up, Deadpool can show up, because they don't have to worry about, oh,
Hmm.
is it part of the TV thing or part of the this that, you know? And I feel like they kind of set us up with that everything is connected, it's all connected craft that they said when they were first starting all this. And then it ends up being like not so
Not.
much the case.
Yeah.
Which, you know, we go, okay, fine. They maybe got a little too ambitious
Yeah,
with
and
the
don't get me
everything is
wrong, like
connected.
it gets everyone excited. I was excited. We're all like, that would be amazing. But
It worked.
and the thing is, it seems like it would be very difficult to do though, because then you'd have to maintain a lot. But then if you trust people enough to basically make sure that everything links up,
Mhm.
you'd assume it could actually work. Like you don't even have it doesn't have to involve it in a great way, but or in a massive way. That's what I mean by
Right,
great. But like hints, enough Easter eggs, so to
right.
speak. Just little things, just mentioning. Oh yeah, it's still reminders. That's all we need. Reminders that they are actually
And
together.
And that I think it all kind of was okay before when they could go, oh well, in Avengers one, aliens invaded. What do we call it on Netflix? The incident. All
Hmm.
right, cool. Every time we say the incident or the big green guy or the Patriot or whatever, people know what we're saying. But now their Infinity War just happened.
Yep.
So how are they going to connect any of that in the Netflix stuff?
Unless all the
The
Netflix
answer
stuff
is
takes place
there's
prior.
I mean, even if it took place after,
Yeah.
somebody would mention, "Hey, remember that time where every half of everyone
Hmm.
disappeared?"
Just turn it to ash. Yep.
Yeah, you know,
Yep.
especially if in Infinity War, this whatever the second one is, there's some kind of huge time jump. That means there was half of everybody missing for a decade.
Hmm.
Granted, I assume something will happen where they fix it by the end. So maybe the
It
Netflix
changes.
stuff,
Yeah.
they didn't even notice that everything got fixed, you know?
I was gonna. That's what I was gonna bring up also before. I'm like, maybe because everything gets fixed, it doesn't affect anything really. Like the events of Avengers One still happen, but that's
Right.
actually all that happened.
Yeah. Well, they did show Far From Home. Tom Holland is there filming in the cloth Spider Man outfit. He's not still in the Iron Spider
Okay,
suit.
and that's why it's
So
like I
they
hate that.
do go back to that
I hate that we're getting
in
all this information. Unless that takes no, that can't. That Far From Home
no,
can't
it's
take place.
after.
Yeah,
It's right after
exactly.
Avengers 4. So and okay, so also granted, the Iron Spider suit was nanotech over the top of
Yep.
Peter's regular suit. So if he just goes, okay, well that mission was done, there goes the nanobots. I don't
Mm-hmm.
need the full suit of armor or whatever. Even though like if you have access to it, why wouldn't you use it? But uh, you know, him going back to the cloth suit makes sense to me, but it means that we know some things are going back to
Of course, they
normal.
have to.
But I am curious if it's so far back to normal that like it gets reversed to before Thanos showed up and started banging everybody up, or if it's everything gets reversed into right before the snap, or if it's nothing gets reversed, they just undo the snap and people show up and it's been a decade.
What would the likely situation be? Do you think?
Uh, I have no idea to be honest. I feel like in the comics they just brought everybody back,
That would
but
be so strange.
it hadn't been that long. They just kind of brought it like I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
Cap made everybody come back with the gauntlet.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
I don't think they can do that. It'd have to be like they'd have to basically erase everything that has occurred.
there's
Like
got to be something where they
No
go
one
back.
knows of the invasion of Thanos. Because technically, I'm sure people will be aware of the invasion of Thanos eventually
Right.
after the fact, and then obviously because everyone vanishing into ash.
Right.
Spoiler for freaking Infinity War. If you haven't
Yeah.
seen Infinity War and you're listening to us, then I
Right.
don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, they'd have to like, and it sucks because we're into this stuff, so we're gonna be seeing images of
Mhm.
Far From Home and stuff. So it's like, oh yeah, if you follow enough of social media and stuff, you're very well aware that he's gonna be back as Spider-Man. Spider-Man isn't dead, which
I
means who
mean,
else is gonna be alive? Who else is
you
gonna be
also got to
saved?
keep in mind, Far From Home comes out, I think, literally 2 months after Avengers 4.
Oh my gosh.
So, so that means they're going to be advertising both of these movies at the same time.
I can't do that.
So I'm saying, how are we not
I'm
going to
gonna
get
have to avoid. I'm gonna
spoilers?
have to avoid trailers.
How do you avoid
I'm gonna
spoilers?
have to avoid trailers. I
It's going to be
can't.
impossible. I can't not watch a
I know.
Spider-Man trailer.
I can't. We can't. We do this. We can't.
But I'm just saying, it's going to be real difficult for them to advertise these
Dude, next
movies
year's
next year.
nuts.
Hmm.
Captain Marvel, Avengers, 4,
Hmm.
Spidey. Just those three alone.
There was supposed to be the X-Men Shi'ar crap too,
Yeah, I don't
but
give a
we'll
shit
see if
anymore.
that even
I
happens.
don't care. I never
Now that
cared.
this Fox deal is for sure going through,
Yep, it's gone through. I don't
who
care.
knows if we'll even see those movies?
Yeah, I don't even care. I don't care. That's the thing, and that's like to me that's more annoying to me that I don't care.
Would you prefer to never see that movie finished if it means we're going to get MCU X-Men in a couple years anyway?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yes. I'm not
I kind of
invested
feel
in
like that too. I'm
I'm not
because
in I haven't been invested in Fox's X-Men for way too long to even
I
care.
yeah, I think
I
when
like the
Logan came out,
characters. Yeah. That
when
was it.
Logan came out and
I signed out.
Wolverine died,
I signed out.
the rest of the franchise died with it, and Deadpool kind of stood on its own.
To
Like
me,
his X
Deadpool's a
Men are even
parody.
different X Men,
Yeah.
right?
He parodizes. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't care. Like I've checked out. I'm done.
But
If they release it as what if movies, the
with
title
the
What
success
If
of one and
X-Men.
two, Deadpool 1 and 2,
Hmm.
do you think this Ryan Reynolds Deadpool, they'll keep him as Deadpool and transfer him to the MCU?
He could be transferable.
Right.
I mean,
Because he's the only character. Like, if he showed up in Deadpool 3 and all the X Men are different, oh, he's allowed to make a reference to that, and
bingo.
it's fine because that's what the character is.
Exactly. He could be like, "Where is everybody? Why are you that?" And it's like, you know what? It doesn't matter.
Right? It
It
doesn't matter.
doesn't matter.
It
Because
doesn't. And it's
just a
great.
couple of lines would be like, "Yeah, this is what it is now.
Mhm.
We got new owners." He can even say everything.
Yeah,
That's
because
the
that's
beauty
the
of the
character.
character. Like that's why that character, he can work anywhere. He
Yeah.
can even be in a non R-rated film and be like, "What is this?" Sense like they could censor anything. It'd be funnier
Mhm.
because of that character as well.
Right.
So
Yeah.
he's fine. If they never release the X-Men films, I don't care. I mean,
I'm with you.
It sucks for everybody involved in it because they definitely put their time and effort into that stuff.
Mm.
And it's a shame that all that work was made and it's never going to see the light of day, or there's a chance of that it'll never see the light of
I
day.
don't know that that'll
Right,
happen. I'm
of
just
course.
curious if that'll happen
If they
because
release it as like a what if films, they can actually even say what if films. Like these are just standalones now. These are
right.
like their final films. I'd be like, cool. At least this way, it's the end of it.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm done with them.
And I think that both of us feel the same way
Yeah,
about that
and
in
that's
this
it.
particular case. And also, we're done with the show.
Yeah.
That was the last thing on the list.
Yep.
Unless we're supposed to be talking about this jam stuff here, or is that
No,
just
no,
personal notes
that
for
was just
us?
personal notes. But we're
Okay.
definitely going to start up new jams for sure.
Yeah, I think this is a great start. What we got right here.
Yeah, because this is like in line. We've got a couple of next jams. Even if it's a
Yeah,
series
one of
of it.
these on here, we're kind of late to the game, in fact.
Yeah, we are actually.
Yeah,
Actually, we really are. We wrote because this is from
this is old.
yeah,
They
this
beat
is
us
from
to a
like
couple
last
of
year. They
these.
did. So I'll just remove that one from that list. Actually, two of them.
I don't know. I mean, that one
Thundercats.
could still be interesting.
Oh, Thundercats. Okay, I'll put the
I mean, I
Thundercats.
wasn't going to say the
Oops.
thing out loud, but
I'll say. Who cares? I can
anyway,
censor that.
that would be funny.
That would be on my kill.
But yeah, so that's the episode, guys.
Yeah.
The next one, we have something else we're supposed to be talking about on the next one, right? We still are we even going to bother doing the Ant-Man and Luke Cage reviews at this
We
point? It's
should. We
been a
should
minute.
do mini ones.
Okay, they'd have to be pretty mini.
No, they're like 10 minutes.
Okay.
Barely.
I have
We can even record it
concepts
after I
for
eat lunch right now.
And I've got a concept for a thing as well for
Cool.
this
We'll talk
uh,
about that.
to talk about. But anyway, that's the episode, guys. Until the next one, stay chipper, chaps.
Stay chipper.